Aloha, Kamaka Brown on V93FM.com, the Sandwich Islands Network Radio. I'm sitting alongside Daniel Ho. Aloha, Daniel.
Aloha Kamaka, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're at the NAMM 2020 in Anaheim Convention Center. And for a number of years, you have been associated with a number of music manufacturers, music merchants here. And you just showed me, ooh, check this out, Ukulele Magazine, a beautiful spread catching up with the prolific ukulele ambassador. And you've got so many projects in the pipeline, and so many successful events and projects that you've taken on that has just brought international music, global music, right? Not just Hawaiian music, but you have gone beyond the genre, and we're talking about your latest one, which is a Chinese. Tell me about that, with the classical Chinese.
Well, this album is called Embroidering Melodies, and it is about the city of Suzhou. So I have 4 original songs about their waterways. They're called the Venice of the East, and I'm also working with traditional art forms that are from the city of Suzhou, like Kunshu opera and Pingtan, which is a storytelling form. And it's been a great experience learning about the culture, the city, and working with instruments like the yangqin, guzheng, and dizi, and Peony Pavilion, which is the most famous Kunshu opera. And it's just, I've been doing world music for about 8 or 9 years and just fallen in love with learning about the origins of music. And by that I mean it's not, our Western scales and harmonies and rhythms, but just using sound to convey emotion and how people all over the world do it. And I take my ukulele and my slack key guitar with me and collaborate with these incredible musicians.
Sweet. Now, I was just sharing with you just a little before that, one of my favorite of your projects is the Taiwan prairie grass. I'm always trying to remember the exact title of it, but I play it all the time and I love it so much. Tell us about that Taiwan experience.
Well, the record company is from Taiwan. They're called Wind Music, and they're basically like family to me. They're wonderful people and have introduced me to Taiwanese aboriginal music. And that album you're talking about is called Between the Sky and Prairie, and it's a Mongolian album. And I played ukulele, slack key guitar, and piano, and worked with the Grasslands Ensemble, which we put together of virtuoso Mongolian traditional musicians that play horsehead fiddle, chaur, dashpulur, tabushur, and throat singing. And it was an amazing experience. And in fact, in Ukulele Magazine, the song that you can learn that they give away is Between the Sky and Prairie, the title cut. So I, take my ukulele on the grasslands and, wrote that song in the grasslands outside of Hulunbuir, which is 26 miles from the Russian border.
A long way from the island of Oahu. Long
but
way.
Inspiring. Like, it's wonderful how, music brings people together.
Yeah. So, Pineapple Mango is one of my favorite songs, a nice little ditty. We play it a lot on V93FM.com. It's often folks are asking about it. Then I saw you had Pineapple Mango, the musical. Tell us about that.
Yes, well, it all started with my friend Anne O'Neill, who is doing a documentary and all the various projects that I'm working on, and she needed a central theme to follow to give the documentary continuity. And I didn't have any big projects in the works, so her husband Sam is a TV writer, writes for The Simpsons and all kinds of different shows. And I thought, wow, why don't we do a musical? So he listened to about 60 or so of my original songs, and he put together this musical called Pineapple Mango. It debuted at the Broad Stage in November 2019 and sold out. We did 3 shows, and I acted. I was the lead character. And Kelly Isabalos and Halauhula Kelly Ionalani, which is an amazing group, was the cast of 5 and the ensemble. So we had 20 something people on stage, and Randy and Steve, my band, we did the music. So It was a great experience, and we hope to do it more often, maybe as a fundraiser for ukulele programs in schools or, things like that.
Fantastic. Now, you have an association with Pepe Romero musical instruments, but they've been doing guitars as well as ukulele. And tell us about your collaboration and association with Pepe Romero.
I met Pepe maybe 8 years ago. I'm not too good with dates, but he is an incredible luthier. I love his classical guitars, and he started building ukuleles like miniature classical guitars, and I'm a classical guitarist by training. And I loved his sound. I started recording with his handmade instruments. Came up with the idea for the tiny tenor, which is a full tenor ukulele that fits in a concert gig bag, and it caught on. He couldn't build them fast enough, so he started Romero Creations with Smiley Kai, who is the owner of Ukulele Source in San Jose, and it took off. So we've been here at the NAMM show and designing new instruments, and designing instruments with Pepe, it's like writing a song with wood. You can make the sound that you want, you can change the bracing, change the woods, change the shape, and come up with a unique sound. So as an artist, you're always looking for your voice. Like, when you hear it's like, that's so-and-so. And I've been able to do that in my collaborations with Pepe. This is our new instrument this year. It's called a Diho 6-string, and it's a steel string baritone ukulele with 6 strings. And I play Saki guitar. And last year, the nylon string version of this came out, and I toured with it all year, 2019, and just loved it. It fits in a baritone case, so you just throw it in the overhead, on the airplane.
Therein lies, so many musicians are talking about when they travel with their instrument on airplanes, right? And there's always been this, talk about the difficulties they have. Hello.
Yeah, and so what's interesting is, I've tried every parlor guitar and every travel size guitar out there, and it's always a compromise in sound because it sounds small.
Yeah.
And do you pick an instrument for convenience and then compromise your show? And I really didn't want to do that. But what Pepe did with this body, which is based on a lute, is he's able to get a lot of bass out of a very small instrument without the honky small body sound. Yeah, and it's in the body. So this is actually the only instrument like this size that has that kind of openness. And it has to do with eliminating the waste to give more cubic volume in the body, making the sound hole a little bigger, reverse fan bracing. There's a lot of factors that go into the design. But for me, it's like a dream come true, because from this day forward, I'm using this guitar. I'm going on tour. I can steel strings. I can tune it to any tuning, standard tuning, flat key tuning, and play my entire repertoire on a baritone-sized instrument.
Well, for our friends that are viewing and listening, if you're at NAMM, you will need to come down to Pepe Romero's. They're on E-level there, and Daniel Ho is there, and a number of also Jerome Coco is there as well from Sons.
Pepe Romero Sr.
Pepe Romero Sr. is there.
The legend is
the legend is there. Daniel, I truly appreciate you coming by and spending some time. I know how busy you are between performances and Pepe Romero and Yamaha as well, but we truly appreciate you stopping by our microphones, taking a little bit of time, and kind of vala'au with us, talk story a little bit. Anything else coming up in 2020?
Yes, well, I just did an online ukulele course with Yamaha, and they just started an online program, and I'm doing ukulele, Lee Rittenauer is doing guitar, Bob James is doing piano, Billy Sheehan's doing bass, and Akira Jimbo is doing drums. And what we're doing this year in 2020 is presenting this online course, which starts from the very beginning. If you've never touched the instrument, takes you through the beginning steps of music all the way through advanced melody, harmony, and rhythm, polyrhythms, and 52 different ways to harmonize a C melody note, and basically everything I've learned about music taught through the ukulele. And I'm working with Danny Joy, who's a wonderful ukulele artist, and she's here with us as well. And she's creating the classroom materials. She's also a graphic designer, incredible vocalist, and we're going to be presenting these classes.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is
Great.
Danny.
Hi, Danny. Welcome. Nice to see you. So, for our friends, you'll need to pick up a copy of Ukulele Magazine. I'm just going to put this on the side here just for a second. Oops. With Daniel Ho on the front. Such a nice spread of information, talking about all the different projects. Very nicely done out of Ukulele Magazine. So be sure to pick up a copy of that as well. Daniel, once again, mahalo, mahalo nui loa. All the best to you and Lydia, Pepe Romero, and all of your projects coming up. And God bless you, and we'll talk to more.
Thank you,
Coming up.
Kamaka.
B93FM.com, the Sandwich Islands Network Radio is where we're at, and we will be right back. Aloha.